Friends of the Family, Episode 4. The year 10,323 moved at a breakneck pace, but inside the private residence of the Harrington family, time felt completely frozen. The living room was a masterclass in 11th millennium architecture, walls made of self-cleaning white porcelain, floating sofas that adjusted to a person's exact spinal alignment, and a massive panoramic window showing the sleek, high-speed energy tracks of New Metropolis. Outside, citizens wore their gleaming quantum wristwatches, effortlessly typing in coordinates to teleport across the immediate universe, completely free from the ancient constraints of physical travel. Yet, despite living in a world shaped like an advanced racing simulation, the emotional gridlock inside the room was entirely real. Sarah Harrington stood near the floating console, her expression tight with enduring resentment. Her three teenagers, Chloe, Ethan, and Lily, were sitting on the edge of a hover couch, their eyes darting back and forth. Keziah sat on the opposite side of the porcelain room, her arms crossed defensively, while her teenage son, Jaxen, stood beside her with his arms folded. Caleb and Zuri, who had teleported over to offer spiritual support, sat quietly in the corner, their expressions filled with a gentle, polite faith. They were deeply committed to helping these families find a path to healing, often reminding everyone of the values they had all shared years ago back at Jesus Christ Baptist Church. "We cannot keep running away every time our wristwatches sync up, Keziah," Sarah said, her voice dropping to a sharp, realistic whisper. "The database credits from the bank account are sitting in limbo. But more than that, the anger in this room is suffocating our children. They are teenagers now, and they are watching us carry a grudge from a decade ago." Keziah looked down at the polished floor, her usual sharp demeanor faltering under the weight of genuine realization. "I know, Sarah, and if I am being completely honest, I carry a lot of pride. I spent years being jealous of the history you had first. Even though I wasn't always loyal to the family structure myself, it's a heavy burden to carry, and it's keeping all of us stuck in the exact same place." Chloe leaned forward, her voice soft but serious. "If you two finally see the problem, why can't you just fix it? We're tired of the tension." Before Sarah could answer, the porcelain walls began to glow with an unpredictable, blinding golden radiance. The floating sofas suddenly dropped 2 inches to the floor with a soft, synchronized thud as the room's gravity briefly warped. Act 2. The shift toward progress. With a loud, spectacular crash, the space right above the center rug fractured. Out of thin air tumbled a massive, uncoordinated figure, executing a clumsy, slow-motion roll across the floor before colliding gently with a high-tech floor lamp. Mr. Moose had arrived once again. He scrambled to his feet, his massive white wings flapping frantically like a confused bird trying to find its balance on an icy surface. His golden halo was currently resting completely sideways across his nose like a pair of oversized spectacles, and a small piece of synthetic tinsel from a digital boutique was wrapped around his white collar. He adjusted his robe with a grand, theatrical sweep, his slurred words instantly filling the ears of the only 2 people who could see him. "I tell ya, Mr. Moose shouted, his voice booming through Sarah and Keziah's minds while the teenagers just watched their mothers in total, bewildered silence. "In the Amin Parker series, I don't get no respect. Absolutely none. Maybe I should create my own series where I'm the protagonist. Some folks down here call me Big Moose, but today I'm just a legendary jokester trying to navigate a living room that's smoother than a bowling alley." The utter disrespect to a scholar. Sarah let out a heavy sigh, her initial terror fading into a weary acceptance. "George, please. We are trying to have a serious conversation about our lives. We cannot handle the pranks today." Mr. Moose stopped his wobbly pacing. He blinked his wide, out-of-focus eyes, and for the first time since he had fallen from the heavenly district, a look of genuine, albeit clumsy, determination crossed his face. He was a complete laughingstock, but he knew he had a mission to progress. "Serious? I can do serious." Big Moose slurred beautifully, executing a dramatic shuffle step that caused him to lean heavily to the right, nearly tipping over a hovering beverage tray. I tell ya, you two are looking at this whole situation completely upside down. You're fighting over a cheap database with 0 credits, while the real treasure is standing right behind your chairs. Look at these teenagers. They're in their mid-teens, typing coordinates into their wristwatches, ready to teleport to the next planet. But they can't even move forward in their own house because their mothers are running a marathon of old arguments." Keziah blinked, completely blown away by the sudden, accidental wisdom hiding behind his ridiculous presentation. Did he just make a valid point? "Listen to the big guy," Mr. Moose continued, proudly tapping his chest, which accidentally caused his halo to slide down around his neck like a bright golden necktie. "I went to a futuristic relationship counselor in the Central District last Tuesday. I told him, hey, I want to help people see eye to eye. The guy looks at my wings, checks my posture, and says, 'George, The only way people will see eye to eye with you is if they're also standing in a pothole. No respect at all. But I tell you, forgiveness isn't about rewriting the database of the past. It's about clearing the cache so the system can actually run smoothly today. Act 3. The first step forward. Sarah turned her head slowly, looking at Keziah. The words of the invisible, loud prankster were completely ridiculous, but the underlying truth was impossible to ignore. Grounded in the raw realism of their situation, the two women realized they were being outpositioned by a celestial laughingstock. "He's right," Sarah said softly, a genuine tear forming in her eye as she looked at her old rival. "We are keeping our children stuck in a loop. Sarah, I am willing to clear the credits and split everything evenly. I don't want to carry the anger anymore." Keziah's shoulders completely dropped, a wave of profound relief washing over her face. "I agree, Sarah. I am sorry for the pain I caused. Let's type in the new coordinates for our families together." Caleb and Zuri smiled brightly from the corner, their faith rewarded by the sudden shift in the room's energy. "That is beautiful," Caleb said politely, completely unaware that Mr. Moose was currently trying to balance a small porcelain coaster on top of his left wing right next to him. "The peace of Christ is finally moving this home forward." "It really is," Zuri agreed softly. "Forgiveness is the greatest power in the universe." Mr. Moose completely ignored the emotional breakthrough for a moment, stepping directly away from the families. He turned his torso to face forward, walking straight up to the front of the scene. He leaned his face incredibly close to the empty air, breaking the fourth wall with absolute, unhinged confidence as he pointed a clumsy blue-stained finger straight at the screen. "Hey you, yes you, the guy currently reading this story. Or hey you, the guy that's listening to this podcast. Yes, I'm talking to you." Big Moose slurred loudly, a giant, dizzy grin spreading across his face. "Can you believe it? The big guy actually moved the plot forward. I tell you, my luck is turning around so fast that if I bought a high-tech umbrella company, the local Metropolis would probably experience a beautiful sunny afternoon for the next 3 weeks. No respect at all from the weather, but the reader knows I'm a genius." Sarah and Keziah watched him with small, amused smiles, finally realizing that their invisible guardian angel was a unique gift. Mr. Moose scrambled backward to the center of the room, executing a sharp, uncoordinated, completely wobbly salute that accidentally knocked his necktie halo entirely sideways across his nose. He broke the fourth wall one last time with a massive, dizzy smile as Chloe tapped her quantum wristwatch, and the entire room prepared to teleport into a bright, united future under the electric violet sky.